Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Geek Reacts, Reviews and Off Times Reminisces. Today we're doing an oldie, a very oldie, quite oldie, depends where your perspective lies on that, but many moons ago I bought Son of What was it, by Salacious Gods, this lot. And that was in the days where you bought blind very often because you're not, I think I'd heard the snippet, because back in the day some sort of online record stores, particularly the independent ones, sort of underground ones, would have about a 20-second sound sample of a track from an album, and that was your lot. And so that was the case with Son of What, I think, and what I heard quite liked, and then when I got the whole album, it wasn't bad, but it soon got forgotten. And I thought no more about Salacious Gods, and then by the same stamp, when Pina came out, I think things have moved on a little bit, so you can actually hear an old track, hear a whole track from an album, and can't remember which one it was, but it was enough for me to buy the whole album, and I've listened to it off and on ever since, so it can't be that bad, can it? So let's give it a go. So I listened to this, it's on my playlist in the car, so not the whole album but selected tracks, of which we're going to listen to one now. So let's do it. So I think every track on this album is a hoot. I'm smiling to myself at the moment because for some weird reason, when I'm using this, I'm playing this off a media player, I presume it's Windows media player, it must be. For some reason it's come up with the album for one of the Bolzer albums. So why that's happened, I don't know. It's obviously confusing, some sort of algorithm, but anyway, for those of you who know this band and know their albums, it was an absolutely total different band really in sound from Son of What to Pina, whereas the former was a little bit twee, keyboardy, melodic-y, atmospheric, as you would expect way back when. This came in thrashing its arse off, and you wouldn't believe it was the same band, but highly entertaining, and the drumming on here is a tour de force, I have to tell you. Well, you'll hear it for yourself. listen to the tracks on this album, occasionally think of what it reminds me of, and it reminds me of when the four horsemen of the apocalypse have done this smiting, plaguing and what have you, what they do to unwind a wee bit. And I can imagine them creating a different sort of mayhem whilst listening to this, having fun, having the crack, and turning their back on the world they've just poisoned or decimated, and just giggling and laughing and looning about. But because of who they are, there's always consequences, and the barrage this album provides just reminds me of something that's not necessarily apocalyptic, but certainly could cause a bit of damage, let's say. So this track and one or two of the other tracks, most of the tracks actually, all wear different hats throughout the proceedings. This one, you've got your punk, you've got your thrash, you've got your blackened thrash. What do you call it? Black metal? Why not? Yeah, let's call it black metal, but it is an amalgam of all those influences as well, and they're not all mixed at the same time. There is a definition between the punky parts and the thrashy parts, but as I say, all highly delightful, and there's an echo to this album, which I'm sure you've detected, which it sort of gives it a sort of live sense, I suppose, as if it's being played in not a dingy basement, because you don't get the echo in there, but certainly in a small but perfectly formed concert hall. Yes, indeed. So there you go. if you like your albums or your songs to go out with a bang, then boom, Bob's your uncle there. Yes. What can I say really? Just a lot of fun. It's not a term you use very often in black metal, but yes, highly entertaining. And like, you know, if my bones weren't fused in various places nowadays, my muscles atrophied to the point whereby I can barely use them, then I might have attempted a bit of a headbang to that, but no, you've been spared the sight. There you go then. It's still available, this album, I think. Well, it is available because I checked, because I tried to find a Bandcamp page for it, although it's there, you can only buy it, you can't stream it. So I've got into, as I say, my the profile playlist I've got saved on here for the car, and it's on that, so there, go buy it if you like it, or at least give it a listen on YouTube. I'm sure on YouTube it's there. Yeah, click your bollocks, catch you all next time, cheerio.